Okay, going to talk about direct variation. All right, so what is a direct variation? It is when you have a constant proportionality. Direct variation is a proportionality. All right, and so look, here's the equation. I got y equals kx. All right, and that k represents the constant of variation and constant of proportionality. That's what it means. All right, so k can be found by k has its own little equation. K is y over x. So first, let's talk about the graph of a direct variation. The graph, when you have it's linear, of course, so it's linear. All right, and it has to go through the origin, so it touches the origin. Of course, you know that's at 0, 0. All right, now I just drew like there's many ways it could be drawn. It could be drawn like this. We could have where it goes through like this. There's any of these are. All right, I'm going to draw one, and you tell me if you think it's a direct variation or not. All right, this one right here is not a direct variation because it's not going through the origin. This is not a proportional line either. So when it's direct, it is proportional. All right, so I'm just cleaning up there. All right, so that's a direct variation. All right, this really is the slope as well. So this little guy here is really the slope as well. You know how we do the slope? We say the change in y over change x. Well, if it's a direct variation, we can just say y over x. And so let me give you an example like of this table. If we had a table here, and if this was a direct variation, it would look something like this. All right, it looks something like this. And so what you do is you take, to find your constant proportionality, you take your y over your x. And so we could take any one of these. I could say 5 over 1, and that's 5. I can say 10 over 2, and that's still 5. I can say 15 over 3, and it's still 5. So no matter what, we still get the same k value. This constant. That's why they call it a constant proportionality. All right, so y equals kx. So I'm going to do a little word problem for you. And I'm just going to do one of them. Well, I may do two, but I just want to do one and kind of go from there. All right, so here's a little problem. Suppose y varies directly as x. Now, I didn't mention this, but this is important. Whenever you see the word varies directly, okay, no matter if they say y varies directly or x varies, whatever they say varies directly, whatever's in front will be the y. I mean, they could say gas varies directly to miles, okay? And so you would put the gas for y, and the miles would be your x value. So whatever they mentioned, whenever they mentioned varies directly, you want whatever's in front will be your y, whatever's in the back of that will be your x value. All right, so here we go. Suppose y varies directly as x, and y is 72 when x is 8. Find x when y is 73. So you could do this as a proportion. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find k. K is y over x. And if you remember, 72 is y, and x is 8. And if I do the math, I get k equals 9. Now, if they ask you to write an equation, okay, so let's say they tell you to write an equation. So what's the equation? That's what they're saying. We know y equals kx. That was on the other slide. I'm going to change color so it's not just all red. And so y equals, and so k, if you notice here, is 9. So we're going to put 9 for our situation. All right, so y equals 9x. That's our equation. So this right here is our equation. Now, if you look at the second part, it says find x when y is 63. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 63 where there's a y, and I'm going to say, all right, 9 times what equals 63? And so I just divide both sides by 9, and you know x equals 7. So we know that x equals 7 when y equals 63. Sometimes they'll even give you the other way. They'll tell you find y when x is a number. So let's say that we take the same problem, all right, and we're just going to say, let's just make up something. So y equals 9x. What if they said, what is y when x equals 3? All right, so you just plug a 3 in with the x, and so you would get y equals 9 times 3, which y would equal 27. And so your ordered pair would be 23, 27. All right.